I'm Charlotte V. Manor, aka your girl Aquarius, and today I am on here to talk about one of my favorite books, Shakti Mantras. Now, this book is filled with mantras that you chant, and the mantras represent the goddess energy. So there are other mantras that do not revolve around goddesses, but you guys know I'm obsessed with goddesses, so I had to get this, and it's tapping into the goddess energy within. So before we start, this book already promises to help you enhance your spiritual gifts, lighten your karmic burden, improve your health, and increase your prosperity, as well as teaching you to live in harmony with the universe. So already this book is saying it's going to help you do all of these things, and I'll share some of my experiences with these mantras because I have chanted them. The rule is to chant these mantras for 40 days, twice a day, preferably at the same time, or you could break them up, chant it 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at night, and you'll be good to go. So the reason you have to chant as much is because when you chant, your mind gets clear, you're not thinking about anything, and you're chanting these words filled with potent energy from the goddess that you're chanting to. So that's very important. The consistency is important because the more clear your mind is, the more you're vibrating the words of these goddesses. It's supposed to help you do all of these things, like increase your intuition, attract money and abundance, attract good people to you, and help you be able to navigate the world better, because we all need that sometimes. Before I start, I wanted to point out some interesting things about the book that does not focus on mantras, because I just thought that was nice to add to the book. You're buying a book of mantras, you're expecting just these mantras, maybe some brief history, but then they give you a little bit more. So I'll start with the inner and outer Shakti. And apparently, just like there's a world outside of us, there's a world inside of us, and the book tries to give us a brief description of that. Everything that you see and love was created by the Shakti energy. So this energy is the very essence of femininity, and it's supposed to be what makes the masculine energy in the world stronger, but it's a book focusing completely on the feminine and how to tap into it and to stop running away from it, because every day we're told that to be sensitive and emotional is wrong. And so this book is here to say, no, if we took the emotions out of the real world, it would be very boring. If we had a very structured, logical, and masculine thought process all the time without acknowledging the vibrant, juicy, feminine side of things, the world would get boring pretty fast. So this book is already trying to tell you to embrace the masculine that you see outside of yourself, but to also embrace the feminine that oftentimes men and women, because men also have a feminine side to themselves. Oftentimes, we're all told that the feminine doesn't matter. If you're feminine, you're soft, you're weak, you'll be taken advantage of and pushed over. So this book is trying to say, no, there is another side to being feminine for the man and woman, okay? So if you're a woman, being feminine can help your life in so many ways. It can help you be more creative, more happy, more in tune with the power that comes from being a woman that knows that she has so much juice and creativity to bring to the table. I know juice sounds kind of weird, but I don't know a better way to describe it. And for men, being in touch with your feminine side helps you increase your empathy. It helps you understand your partner more if you're in a relationship with a woman. It helps you to look at women with kinder eyes and to see that even though you might not think their struggles are real or as hard as yours, you start to see that their obstacles and challenges in life are of equal importance. It might be a different type of struggling and circumstances, but at the end of the day, they have problems that are of equal importance to that of men. And so it promises to give men as well an experience that they can learn from, as well as to be able to understand the opposite gender more. And sorry guys, I'm rambling. So the next point I found interesting about this book was its brief description on karma. So this book promises to help you lighten your karmic burden. So what that means is, we all know karma is what you do to someone else, they'll do back to you. The book is saying karma is more than that. Karma is a way of thinking. So if you do something bad to someone, but you feel like within your heart that you were just standing up for yourself, you were just not taking any crap, are you really going to face karma? Because karma is really what you make of it. If you feel guilty about something, then yes, you will attract karma to you. But a lot of times we do things to protect ourselves, to protect our family. And if you feel like what you're doing is for the greater good, it's saying that your karma should not be that bad. So again, it's about what you make it. A lot of times it's the thoughts we send out. When you think negative thoughts, when you think thoughts that bring you pain, you're gonna attract the karma, because you're sending out that signal that I'm in pain, I'm hurting, I'm guilty, so I need the punishment. So the karma ends up finding you, which I found interesting, because usually when I think of karma, I think of, if I do this, then this happens. But it's more to that, and the book is letting you know that karma, it should be looked at in various ways. Yes, you could look at it from the, if I do this, this happened, but you should also look at it as, when I do this, what am I thinking? Because what I'm thinking as I do this will bring in my punishment or reward. So I thought that was very interesting little tidbit that the book gave us before jumping into mantras. And the third one is just the chakra system. The book touches on chakras. If you don't know what chakras are, it's energy wheels that reside in your body and travel up the spine. The first one is the root chakra. It's red. It's about survival. And for the most part, that's the chakra that this book focuses on, with sometimes bringing attention to your heart chakra and your third eye. And if you want to know more about chakras, I do have a spiritual channel, but I'm not going to get really deep into it because the book didn't as well. It just told you what chakra's role is within these mantras. It promises that if you chant these mantras and you are dedicated, you can purify your chakras. And when you do that, it's just your energy body, your aura brightens, you attract better situations, circumstances, and people. So I just wanted to throw that out there for anyone that has never heard of chakras. So I'm gonna move on and actually talk about the book. So the book starts with the age of Aquarius. It lets us know that in 2001 the Aquarius era started, and yes, I'm Aquarius, born January 22nd, so that was a nice surprise to me. It talks about how before the age of Aquarius we were in the age of Pisces, so everything was more about dreams. Are you gonna manifest your dreams? Picking work that you love. Are you gonna sacrifice your youth for a job that doesn't care about you, or you're gonna go pursue your dreams, create businesses? And now we're in the age of Aquarius, where a lot of those actions from the Pisces era is manifesting. So a lot of people are open to new ideas in this age. Technology is increasing, so the age of Aquarius is about being in the flow of things and also embracing a futuristic society, because that's where we're heading. Technology is only getting better. So the book wants you to know that the age of Aquarius is a big reason that sparked this discussion that we're having, as well as this book. But we're in the time now where we're just interested in a lot of things. So I have my book and I am ready. I'm ready to learn, which is a big part of the age of Aquarius. And aside from giving us some brief history on the age of Aquarius, we start off with our first goddess, and her name is Saraswati, and her mantra basically focuses on knowledge and the power that comes with knowledge. So this isn't gonna be spoilers in case any of you are like, oh, she's gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna tell you a little about the mantra, and and if it interests you, buy the book. It's full of mantras and it couldn't hurt. And no, this isn't sponsored, this is just my favorite book. So just to get that out the way. But Saraswati is the goddess of knowledge and music. She manifests herself through divine speech and music, and she empowers anything regarding the mind. So this female goddess empowers all of these things, and she does have her story in the book. In one sentence, I would say her story involves reincarnating from the form of Lakshmi, who I mentioned in the previous video is the goddess of beauty and abundance. So she reincarnates from that until this new goddess that is filled with knowledge and has a lot to offer aside from being beautiful like Lakshmi. So if you're interested in Saraswati, I would say that her mantras work the best for people who have a thirst for knowledge and they have a thirst for music and writing, especially writing. She's very good at writing. So I don't have a statue of Saraswati, but I do have this card with her information on it. It's from this deck of cards I got on the gods and goddesses, and this is her. As you can see, she's playing music. She's always doing that. And she comes from Lakshmi as well, so she is into things that are beautiful. She has pearls, she's near a beautiful lake, she's decked out in gold, and all their crowns shine because it shows that they're all enlightened beings already, so they don't have the problems that we usually have. And I'm not sure what this is, but I do think it's supposed to symbolize her love of writing, and if that doesn't, I'm pretty sure this peacock feather does. But that's Saraswati, and I really like her. My goal is to get some statues of her. And if you do have this thirst for knowledge and you have this thirst for music and writing, this is the goddess for you. Her chapter just really enforces that already. You know, if you're into philosophy, mysticism, physics, chemistry, music, writing books, this is the book for you, because her chapter is just filled with all these things that inspire creativity. And yeah, so that was Saraswati. The next goddess who caught my eye in this book was Kali Ma, and I actually do have a statue of Kali Ma right here. So this is Kali Ma. So the book has a chapter with her. There's a lot of goddesses, but I only chose to focus on 3 for this video, just so you guys know. So Kali Ma is recommended to the impatient and the people who require dramatic and fast results. So don't use her if you don't want dramatic results. It's just fact. So if you want a more loving approach, maybe Saraswati is for you, or maybe even Lakshmi, who I will talk about next. But I also have a picture of her before I talk about her. So this is Kali Ma. She's already enlightened, which is why she has this crown of gold around her head, and she's standing on top of Shiva, I believe, but it's supposed to represent her ability to tame the ego. So yes, she is the goddess of death and destruction, but she's also the goddess of helping you overcome the limitations of the ego and learn how to not always hide behind the ego, which is really a need to be right. Kali Ma, I wrote down a page that I think you guys will find interesting. This is a snippet from the book that I feel like describes Kali Ma very well, and it says, "But that which consumes even Kali is Kali, for she is the infinite receiver of all. The inky black look of Kali is the inky blackness of the void. In the cosmos, Kali is she to whom all energy of the universe returns, devoid of form, aspect, or object. Kali is the void of the cosmos that gives birth to the next Kali of the great cycle of the universe." So Kali is the ultimate mother. I know the picture I showed you, she was blue, but in her original form, she was as black as night. And unfortunately, a lot of people found her original form to be very scary. They found it to be very triggering. The fact that she was so dark, and the fact that she's already the goddess of destruction, and then she was being written as a darker skinned goddess, it triggered a lot of people. So eventually her form changed itself to blue so that people will be less frightened. If you're not frightened of a blue goddess but you're frightened of a black goddess, I would never understand. But that's just how she went from being black to blue. I guess blue was a safer form of black to a lot of people who saw her in visions and heard stories about her. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and they don't really go into it in the book. They just make it seem like Kali is black, but what they really mean is the photo I just showed you. But I just wanted to let you guys know that originally Kali Ma was black, like the color of my hair black, and she was very voluptuous, but people found that terrifying, so they made her blue. And the meaning of Kali Ma is really to just learn how to let things go, learn how to let relationships go, learn how to let things that cause you pain go, because if you don't, not only will you still lose those things in the process of trying to hold on to them, you will just hurt yourself more in the process. So a lot of people find Kali Ma scary, and the book does a good job talking about how scary people find her. At the same time, the real essence of Kali is that she is the destroyer of a negative ego. So the more negative the ego, the more painful the person chanting her mantras will find it. Even though those who view Kali as a warrior know that if you truly know Kali, you know that she is a warrior on the battlefield, but if you send a child into that battlefield, she will immediately switch to a kind and loving mother. And the last thing about Kali is that her existence evolves around destroying the ego of the people who chant to her, as well as providing them with a stronger form of self-confidence, because she is the creator. She is very confident in what she brings to the world of mantras, as well as the world of gods and goddesses. Even though a lot of people find her triggering, it's for the best. You know, what you don't know seems scary, and she literally is the embodiment of that. I recommend Kali Ma's mantras to those who are in need of a quick dramatic fix, and the book does a good job talking about that as well, saying that if you're flaky, she's not the goddess for you. So yes, I would definitely pick up this book for her story alone. I know there are other books completely dedicated to her. You might be confused if you aren't aware of some of the other gods that she comes into contact with. So that was Kali Ma, recommended for those who need dramatic change in their lives, particularly if you know that you're tired of a situation, but you know you're just gonna drag your feet to get out of it. This is the goddess for you. And again, this is Kali Ma. This is her card. I have a card of her as well. So this is Kali Ma. This is her updated form. She's no longer pitch black in skin tone. She's now a light blue with the same features and attributes she had before. So she's light blue now, you guys. And next, I would like to talk about Lakshmi. Lakshmi really made this book go from a 4-star to a 5-star for me. Lakshmi's story was so beautifully written. It also talks about her husband. I think his name is Vishnu. So Lakshmi, which is the power of beauty and abundance, she manifests herself through good luck, prosperity, fulfillment, and wherever you see pink, gold, luxury, mansions, beaches, beauty, it's Lakshmi manifesting herself into physical form. There's a page in the story in Lakshmi's chapter that touches on something that the Buddha said. Fulfilling basic needs and wants in everyday life can make things so much easier. This is what the Buddha believed, that you cannot teach people how to meditate if they are starving. First, you feed them, and then it becomes easy to teach people spiritual practices. Even though we may have enough food to eat and basic shelter, we all have desires and longings for items and conditions that, if satisfied, will aid us in every other aspect of our existence. So that's where Lakshmi comes in. I have a statue of her because I have an altar, but this isn't my spiritual channel, so I'm just gonna focus on the book at hand. And basically that quote is saying that no one can truly thrive in spirituality without Lakshmi in their lives. Without shelter, without food, without clothes on your back, the last thing you're thinking about is meditating and reaching enlightenment. So without a little bit of Lakshmi in your life, chances are you will not be able to live up to your best self. And so the book does a great job talking about that. To truly fulfill ourselves, we need some Lakshmi in our lives. So that was all of the goddesses. And if you're interested in Lakshmi, I definitely recommend her for people who desire to be more beautiful. They desire to have more food to eat. They desire to attract abundance, whether it's the money or the item that they want that requires money. She's good for those types of people. So that was basically my favorite parts of this book. Are there negative parts of this book? I honestly would say, to me, not really, because this book is just made to inform you of a practice. You can do it. You even get to choose out your goddesses. I guess a con could be that maybe more information on the chakras. You know, they gave us a little bit in the beginning, more information on the law of karma, cause and effect. They gave us a tiny bit as well, and just more about what it means to go within to tap into the Shakti energy. I don't feel like they did that. Maybe they think when you chant the mantras, the answer will come to you. So I'm not gonna dock a star off for that. So I still give it a 5 out of 5. And I learned a lot from this book, which is why I wanted to share it on this channel. I was going to do this review on my spiritual channel, but it's still a book at the end of the day, so I decided to do a book review instead. And I hope you guys have figured out if this is a book that interests you. Shakti Mantra. This isn't sponsored. This is just one of my favorite books, because if you have the dedication and consistency to do these mantras for 40 days, and you don't have to do 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the day. That's just like if you want like fast, life-changing results. But you can also just do it 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night for 40 days and see how your life changes. If you are interested in the mantras and how to pronounce them, if you don't want to get the book, you can check out my spiritual channel. But that's all I have for today, and that was my review or commentary on Shakti mantras, tapping into the goddess energy within. So I'll see you guys all next time. I'm your girl Aquarius, and I am out.